A customer recently asked, hey, is there a way I can drive a display text element in a screen so that I control things like color and size and font based on some upstream flow values? And this new component does that. It's called controllable display text. And if you click on it, and you can see it's a normal Lightning Web component designed to be a flow screen component. You add it to a screen, and you can pass into it a lot of values. Now, right here, this is sort of the core text that's going to be displayed. So let's go. Here is the main body of text. And you can see some familiar looking HTML characteristics. So right here, we're basically saying that we want this time, we want it to be blue, Garamond, 300 times size, normal, based on a P tag. We want it to be bold. We want it to be centered. We're going to leave italics blank, which means that's going to be off, and we're not going to do a URL. So we're giving it all these instructions, and when we run it, you can see that you get exactly what you asked for. So if we go back here now and change some of this stuff, let's change font family to good old unofficial SF's favorite. Reduce the size a little. Let's add a URL to open up Salesforce. So now when we run it, you can see that the font has changed. It's a little smaller. Here's a URL, and the URL loads the link when it's clicked on. And so that's kind of nice. But the real advantage of something like this is for you to be able to dynamically pass in those values based on something that's happening in the flow. So let's go and look at a more compelling example here. So if we run this, so upstream in the flow, we're deciding whether we are going to stay or whether we are going to go. And here is the message if we want to go, and okay, what if we want to stay? So you can see how you can control the look and feel of this text based on the values that are passed in. And if we go and take a look at this, you can see that what we did here was we used some text variables that I had created to pass in the value that I want. So we have these things: color guidance, bold guidance, and these are just variables. These ones are text, this one's a Boolean that we created. So what's happening here, this is a normal radio button group with a couple of choices, and then we have this decision element which basically decides whether to go down the stay or go path. And then depending on which path is taken, we use an assignment to pass values into these variables. Now, you could use two screens, but it's kind of nice to only do your visual stuff, not duplicate your visual stuff. It's much more flexible to do the difference work inside of an assignment. So I'm basically setting these to red 400, true, and here's my text. Here you can see I set it to different values. So kind of cool, and you might find it useful.